I hate you, stock market. I hate you, stock market. I hate you today, stock market. All right, so let me say hello and welcome to each and every one of you. Doug here with thelincolnist.com. Let me welcome you to another daily edition of Stock Market Mutterings, where every day I'll do my best to take a grope in the murkiness, try to make some sense out of this market, and try to provide you with some quality trade setups. As always, if you guys need help with your trading, I trade live every day here from my new office. Feel free to join us. The link is right there above. Now, maybe that was an over-dramatized intro. I'll give it that. It was a pretty frustrating day. Nothing that I haven't experienced before, but man, I couldn't get anything going today, guys. I just couldn't get anything going, no matter what I did. And the market just kind of laid there, and it was one of those days, man. Everything I try turned to crap. The last couple of days have been good, but man, what are you going to do? Now, why do I share such stuff with you? Because even after doing this for 22 years now, there's some days that you just feel like you don't have a handle on anything. Really, like you, and I'm sure you guys go through that too. You like maybe have been at this for a while, and then all of a sudden you feel like you wake up one day and you're just a rookie. You got rookie-fied. Like you just all of a sudden lost your skills overnight. Sometimes it feels that way. So whatever I had going on, whatever thoughts I had going on, that stuff works. I'm going to put this down here. We can chit-chat, talk about it here in just a minute. All right, so I got you on the webcam here. Let's talk a little bit about today before we jump into tomorrow. And I tell you what, it was just one of those days I just didn't get what I wanted. I had some good ideas. I had some relatively good execution. Things just did not pan out the way I wanted them to. Like I've been talking about, I'm into just doing the dip buys right now, into big support, into validated areas. And I kind of thought I had the right idea today with I did have the right idea, it just didn't work. I thought I was on the right track here with the SPY, and I bought some of this as it got into the first level of support, which was this 287s, 288s area, with the intent that if it sold off a little bit more, I would just add at the low of the day. So I prepared myself that I might not have found the bottom here. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, so I just put in a little piece here and I said I'll add when I get down here, and I did that. But I never really got anything on this trade. The highest I got here was just slightly in the green, and I thought, well, it's later in the day, maybe it'll run, and it just all of a sudden drops on me. I'm like, it just wasted my day. That's what happened, and that's kind of the way it went. And I think one of the things why I would bring this stuff up to you guys is like, you know, I've mentioned it before, I'm 22 years into this, and if you think there's going to be one day that you just have complete command over the market and it never pisses you off and it never upsets you and you're always under control, is total garbage. It's like there's still days that I'll wake up out of nowhere and feel like I'm a total rookie, like I got rookie-fied, like I slept off all the skills that I had in a night. And there's days that I have that are stubborn, like today, that nothing works, that I have two trades and both of them were losers, that I just misread the market, that, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. The difference, though, for you guys that I want to share is, I think I've said this before, that when I would have a rough day when I was an amateur, that meant I lost an account or I blew out a month, 6 months, a year, or whatever. It was an unrecoverable event. Now it's just a pain in the ass. I lost a few bucks that I'll probably make up tomorrow. It's just frustrating. And that's a good sign if you're in that. You know, if your losses go from destruction to not so much destruction to, okay, I'm just pissed off. Let that be your worst problem, right? Let that be your worst problem here. And that's kind of the way it is. I think I had some good entries on these. The market just wasn't cooperative. And sometimes that's the way it was. Netflix was the same way. I had some stuff here on it. And what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Did the same thing. I put a nice little starter here and add here, but I never really got green on it either. So I ended up losing on these. So we'll see we'll talk about this one here later because there's something I want to show on this. So I think going forward here, let's talk about where we're going to go here, because today's over with. We've got some other things here happening in the post market. I think what would be ideal for me and what I'm looking for is maybe we could sell off to 280 tomorrow in the SPY. That would be a little bit on the aggressive side here, but if we gap and we flush and we get down into some of those bigger areas of support, I would be interested in that. I would be interested in trying that, buying again. I'm still on the bullish side still, even though we got some rejection here from resistance. I'm still on the bullish side until we start seeing prices under 272, 271. then I'll reevaluate. But for right now, it could be just one of those sell days that we'll recover from in a day or two. I still think we're going to 300. We may not, but we'll see how things go to tomorrow. So there's a couple of areas there for you. I'm going to bring up a stock here that might be a little different from most to trade, and that would be Shop. This thing is a freaking monster. Of the few stocks that bounced today off the lows, look at the bounce on this thing. Now, the reason I bring this up here is because the strategy that a trader has with something like this is a different approach. Now, I know some of you might look at it and go, $600, I can't afford it, it's too expensive, I want to trade cheaper stocks. Don't let that bother you, because the range on this thing is absolutely insane. But on a stock like this, you have to have all of those great trader qualities lined up. You have to be patient, you have to have the right idea, you have to have excellent execution on this thing, and you have to let it work for you. But if you are able to find this stock on any base, I'm going to just share it with you this way, the way I'm looking at it. If you can find it on any base where you can get your risk to $1 to $2 of risk, and you have got to use a stop on this, do not screw yourself around on something like this, but if you can find yourselves in those positions, the reward is $20 to $30 on this every day of the week. So like you're talking about right here, you get a couple of wicks off of the bottom. If you're buying here in the mid, you got 614s, maybe a stop at 612, 611. But look at the move, 612 to 638, right? I mean, the thing is making $20 to $40 moves intraday every single day of the week. So the only reason that you would do this, if some of you are kind of confused, is you're in this game for risk versus reward. And if you're finding yourself here, let's say you take $2 of losses. Every time you see a base, you just take a trade and it's $2 of losses. You could have 3 or 4 of those in a row. And then when you hit the 4th one, the way this thing is moving, you're going to recover all of those losses and then some. Just a really beast of a stock that, you know, if you can stomach that kind of trading, if that's something that you're interested in and sharing something a little different that I do sometimes, find yourself looking at this thing for bases and setups, because, man, the range on this. Oh, man, the range on this. Now, as for the rest of them here, I'm still interested in kind of keeping a closer watch here on BABA. Now, my thoughts behind BABA are that it's down several days in a row. I mean, we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. It's been kind of a turd lately. It's been turd BABA, not King BABA, turd BABA, because it's been fading and losing everything. But at some point now, after all of these days, you're really, really close to the gap right here. This $200 almost even. Bounce there today. Keep an eye on that. If it's able to hold this area up tomorrow morning, the 200s, I would expect this moves back towards 207, 210s maybe. You'll see a pretty good bounce on that thing right there. And that's about all I see right now. That's about all I see. The rest I'll have to see when it opens, because as I'm sitting here tonight looking through this stuff, you know, most of you know I trade the same names every day. Like I said, Facebook, Apple, LULU, OKTA, DOCU. If I get the right setups on those, I'm interested. As far as shorts, you got to wait for some of those to set up. The only thing I'm really interested in shorting as a trade only would be Wayfair. I've been looking at this one for possible slowdown in its momentum. I know they got earnings coming up, but this would just be a trade. I wouldn't be looking for any long-term sell-off on this right now. But you know, if you find spots on something up this much, you got a market that's weak and you got some pullbacks here, and you can get your risk into about $1. You never know what you might get in some of these stuff. They can really, really flush out. So again, we'll see how things open up tomorrow and see if this market wants to press a little bit lower. It certainly feels like that today, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen. We'll find out. And as always, if you guys need help, man, make sure you reach out to me. I know I'm funny sometimes. Talk about some darker sides of trading, but you know, we all go through that. And join us every day. Every trade's live, everything's done on screen, completely transparent. It's all about being a trader, living the trader lifestyle, not the old Lambo thing, but just understanding what you're doing here and what this all means to you and what it takes to be successful. because you have to be a complete package in a lot of different areas, and you got to work on that. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. As always, reach out to me at support@lincolnlist.com if you need my help. Until tomorrow's market mutterings, let's try to keep our hair together. Take care.